Chapter 13 of Pee-wee Harris on the Trail. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Stephen Winterburn. Pee-wee Harris on the Trail by Percy Keese Fitzhugh. Chapter 13. A Friend in Need. "Do you want me to let you into a secret?" Pee-wee said. "I know where there's a stolen automobile. Maybe you'd like to help me take it back to its owner, hey? If you do, you'll get an honorable mention in our troop book. I was carried away in it by two thieves who didn't know I was in the car, because I was disguised, sort of, under the buffalo robe. Do you want to help me foil them?" The manual training teacher seemed interested, but a bit incredulous. He looked Pee-wee over and said, "What's all this?" "Maybe you don't believe me, but it's true," Pee-wee said. "Do you know how to run a car?" "Anything from a flivver up," said the stranger. "Psh," said Pee-wee. "This one is a way, way up. It's a Super 6 hunk-a-junk. It belongs to a man where I live, in Bridgeboro, New Jersey." "Well, what are you doing here?" the manual training teacher asked. "I was kind of kidnapped accidentally. They did it, but they didn't know it. They've got pistols and blackjacks and things, and I heard them talk about stealing. I bet I'd have heard a lot more, only my head was under the buffalo robe. If you'll help me, we can what do you call it? You know, The teacher did not know, but his interest was aroused at this whispered tale of armed bandits and of a big stolen car. Pee-wee completed the tale in breathless excitement. He told all from the beginning. "They locked it in," he concluded, "and went away. But one of the doors, the big one, was locked on the inside, and I opened it. Anybody can take the car out. These men have gone away across the lake. If you'll drive it to Bridgeboro, you can stay at my house and have breakfast, and I'll tell Mr. Bartlett that you helped me. And gee whiz, they'll thank you a lot. Maybe you know about scouts because manual training teachers know a lot about scouts on account of scouts making birdhouses and all things like that, and so maybe you know about good turns. That'll be a peach of a good turn. And if I tell about it, you'll get a kind of a medal from our troop with your name on it. What's your name? Mine's Walter Harris, but the fellows in my troop call me Pee-wee, but I should worry about them. Will you help me? What's your name?" "Mr. Swiper," said the stranger, rather thoughtfully. "Let's go and look it over." He was certainly considering the proposition, and Pee-wee accompanied him back to the lake, keeping up a running fire of enthusiastic encouragement and representing to him the delight and self-satisfaction of circumventing a pair of scoundrels. "They've got pistols and everything," he said as a clincher. "And if they'd steal a car, they'd kill somebody, wouldn't they?" "70 pistols is a good many," said Mr. Swiper incredulously. "Sure it is," said Pee-wee excitedly. "It's more than Jesse James had. I guess they belong to a big band of thieves, hey? Maybe they've got a haunt on the other side of that lake, hey? Now you can see it's good to go to the movies, hey? Because we could never foil them if I hadn't, hey? They drove it right away from in front of the theater. Anyway," he added excitedly as he trotted along, "I'm glad I met you, because now I don't have to wake up the police or anything, hey? And I bet Mr. and Mrs. Bartlett will be surprised when they see us bringing it back, won't they? I'll show you where we have our meetings." Mr. Swiper was not carried off his feet by Pee-wee's excited talk. He was thoughtful and preoccupied. "That's one thing I have no use for, thieves," Pee-wee said. "Gee whiz, I never took a ride with thieves before. But anyway, it's going to be all right now. We'll just toot the horn in front of the house when we get there, hey? And I'll say, 'Here's your car, Mr. Bartlett.' And then I'll introduce you to him, hey? And I bet Anyway, you wouldn't take anything, would you? Money or anything like that?" "Don't insult me," said Mr. Swiper. "I didn't mean it," Pee-wee said apologetically. "Scouts are like that. They won't take anything for a service, but eats don't count. You can take eats. But I mean money." "Don't speak of money again," said Mr. Swiper. End of chapter 13. Recording by Stephen Winterburn.